Ball is teed up. Chase McLaughlin to do the honors. And we're off and running from Raymond James. Fielded at the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So out come the Patriots, ready for their first possession. They'll be led out by last year's 3rd overall pick. He started 12 games last year as a rookie. That's Drake May.
Kate, you watch Drake play this game, and he checks every box you want for a franchise quarterback. Tall, athletic, great arm. Now he's got to take all that wonderful potential into week-to-week productivity.
All right, let's get this one on the road, Brock. It is 1st and 10. Now the first carry of the game for Ramondre Stevenson. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
As a corner in this league, oh, you can go to the Pro Bowl if you can cover. If you want to be an all-pro, you stick someone like that.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. Off the play action. May. Got to it right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. Well, no look on his first look of the game, so they're left facing 3rd and long.
Just about every play in an NFL game usually has a protagonist and antagonist, a good and a bad. The good there, the courage of that wide receiver. The bad, just could not haul it in.
Last pass unsuccessful. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. They'll run it with Travion Henderson. And they drop him just a couple yards beyond the line. It's 4th down now.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Patriots punt team coming out with former 6th-rounder Bryce Baringer to do the honors. Punt meets him at the 28. And he's brought down before the return gets far. So here now are the Buccaneers on offense to begin their first drive. And at the helm, coming off a career-best performance in year 7 here in the NFL, the #1 overall pick back in 2018 out of Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
I firmly believe the NFL is better with quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield in it. His teams, they just embrace his feisty, chippy attitude he plays with. They also embrace the production he's shown. Massive new career best a season ago with 4,500 yards and 41 touchdowns.
Drive begins with a run by Irving. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
Well, more often than not, it's the passing game that's asked to go from first down in just one play. But when you get that big play potential on the ground, geez, it just infuses your offense with confidence.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Mayfield now from the gun. That's caught. It's Gxlden. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Just a yard left to go on 2nd down. Completed out to the left on that quick throw. And he's brought down at the line.
It was as if the defense knew what play was coming. That was a play they knew they could defend, and boy, did they ever, stopping it right at the line of scrimmage.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. Mayfield keeps it himself. And this defense is going to win this rep. They hold strong there in the middle, get him down right at the line. 4th down coming up.
That's all you could really expect from a sneak, Kate. 1, maybe a couple yards. So in that way, their job was executed. But the play call, well, that leaves me and I think many scratching our heads.
Don't want to punt from here, but too far for a field goal as well. They're going for it here. Running for it, here's Irving. He's out in the clear. And this is going to get him into the red zone. He's at the 15-yard line. They come through with a massive gain there on 4th down, 24 yards, and it's a first down.
That's a dream come true right there as a play caller, Kate. You leave the offense out there on 4th and inches. You try to pound it forward just to move those chains, but you get the best of both worlds. You move the chains for a lot more.
From the red zone on 1st. And a man is there to knock that away.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. The quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not two hands that got on the football.
2nd down, still 10 to go after that incomplete pass. Irving here from the gun. And he'll fight ahead for a few. It's 3rd down.
When you don't have great success on 1st down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
3rd down, here's Mayfield. It's complete. This is Gxlden. He's going to be short of that goal line, Brock, but not of the marker. They've got a 1st and goal.
It's a gain of 14 yards. That's another Buccaneers 1st down. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Well, when your opponent fails to act, Brock, you want to capitalize, right? And they are moving like a team ready to provide us with our first points of this game.
Yeah, pretty lackluster start there, Kate, from their opponents. You got a golden opportunity to immediately take control as they convert to stay on the field.
Not able to make a push for that goal line. He's hit for a loss back at the 3. And that right there, an early look at somebody who might just be the impact player in this ballgame.
Yeah, there's no question this strong safety loves to come downhill. Now, as an offense, you've got to adjust. You've got to throw over the top if he's willing to be that aggressive.
Shotgun snap for Mayfield. And he hauls it in for the Tampa touchdown. The Buccaneers have a great first drive and get the game's first points. So a very run-heavy approach to this one thus far. Hard to argue with the results as they start out with a touchdown, Brock.
Yep, even in a passing league, Kate, it's how a lot of teams like to start, right? Everybody loves to think of winning the line of scrimmage. Why? Well, it sets up play action. It makes your protections a little bit easier. Win the line of scrimmage in this league, you have to win the game.
On is Chase McLaughlin for the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Buccaneers will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Patriots nothing.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. His return starts at the 5. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. New England taking the field. Its 2nd series of the game coming up. And they haven't gotten very far into their opening script yet, have they? Just a 3 and out to begin this game. Patriots lining up. It's 1st and 10. Heads out on the bootleg. Pressure's there, and the Bucs got it. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out, and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Not for that defense who puts a sack on the board.
From the gun, it's May. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, it's third down. Here he goes, third and long. Complete beyond the marker. And he's out of bounds. Defenders get there to drive him out right near that 40-yard line. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49.
At his 49-yard line. A gain of 9 brings up second and 1.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's second and 1. There's a dive up the middle. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
Last two plays have been tremendously efficient for this offense. Get a good gain on first down that sets up second and short. And then like John Madden used to say, boom, that fullback moves the chains.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. A give left side to Stevenson. Breaks the tackle. He's got space ahead. And he gets this all the way to the 25 before they stop him. It's a 23-yard pickup on the play. And the Patriots will have a first down.
Best run games in this league at balance. Can run it inside, and as they just showed right there, doing damage on the outside.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another first and 10. Going play action, May. Dump off to his fullback. And he's going to work it to the 20. Stop that time by Gxlden.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
Second and 6 coming up here. Shotgun handoff to Henderson. And that's good for a few. It brings up third down.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, it's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
All right, 2 yards to go here on third down on what will be the 9th play of this impressive drive. Here he is on third and short. And the Buccaneers are going to get home as they drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up fourth down.
Opening frame of the game, and 2 times already, these defenders have got home for a home run sack. If they get their way, a lot more teammates are going to join them on the stat sheet with the takedown before this one ends.
So now on fourth down, Andres Borregales leading the Pats field goal team out for a try. It's a 39-yarder from the left hash. Borregales connects, and it's dropped back down to a 4-point game.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Now Borregales on to send it away. On the return, here comes Sean Tucker. And this drive will start inside the 25. So the Buccaneer offense getting out there for their second drive. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. Tampa Bay bringing the offense to the line. It's first and 10. Mayfield now off the play action. Finds him on the crossing route. And he hangs on to that football, Brock, through a well-timed tackle. Nice gain. They're down to the 36. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first. No doubt they'll take a repeat of how this game began, Brock, and that play has them on their way towards it.
Scripting for success. They'll keep pressing the advantage, too, until some resistance has got to finally appear.
1st and 10, it's Mayfield. Grabbed by Gxlden. And he'll be out of bounds at his own 45. Now the completion rate is strong, partner. The yards, you got to imagine, will start to come soon enough.
You never go broke taking a profit, and you know this one too, Kate. The crumbs always lead to...
Oh, the cookie. Now I'm hungry. Just a yard left to go on 2nd down. Play fake, it's Mayfield. Hits him on the end route. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And that's good enough for a Tampa 1st down.
Complete to Emeka Abuka. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
1st down, ball at the 36. Baker throwing again. Dumps it off to his running back. They'll take this ahead to the 34-yard line. Brought down by the veteran Carlton Davis.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. One of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Sticking in the air. Here's Mayfield. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
I can promise you that is a throw, and it's a quarterback when it leaves your hands. You do not want to flirt with as this game goes on. That is a prime one that DB could cut off and take the other way.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Slot receiver headed left. 3rd and long for him here. He has the first over the middle. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's good for a Buccaneer 1st down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Hits on the out route. And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for 1st and goal.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. They motion a receiver left. Once more, it's Mayfield. Has it down close. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
Hey, you like these results on 1st. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on 2nd down. That playbook wide, wide open.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1. Irving, and he gets in, touchdown! The Buccaneers get 6 more on their early advantage.
This right here, Kate, well, this is a performance of the modern-day running back. A touchdown on the ground, a touchdown through the air, and in just the 1st quarter, making a massive impact on the game.
McLaughlin attack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Buccaneers drive their lead to 11.
14. Patriots 3.
Gxlden has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flight. Has this at the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Here's New England ready once again on offense. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw in their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. New England bringing the offense to the line. 1st and 10. They go play action. Here's May. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Tough one to retain through that hit. And now it's 2nd down.
Yeah, this game, you just can't make it harder than it needs to be. Just get the catch first. Guarantee your yards, and then worry about escaping defenders after the catch.
2nd and 10. Here's May. Setting up the screen with Henderson. And he gets this one up to the 40-yard line. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's a New England 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
Finds his running back, Henderson. And they're all over that screen, Brock. Didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
I know coordinator and quarterback going to be upset with that 1st down because you call a screen on 1st, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, that defense creates a negative play and sets them back behind the sticks.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Here's May again. Has him on the quick hitter. They won't find much there as it reaches the 41. David, like so many times in his career, making that tackle.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
May now on 3rd down. Short pass brought in. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
And the Patriots, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. The give inside to Stevenson. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just sometimes you got to run into darkness. Just go where there is no lane and hope that something opens along the way. That linebacker said, not this time.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. Henderson here from the gun. And he's going to manage a low yard on that drive up the gut. Yaya Diaby brings him down.
Sometimes you just feel like in the background of every ho-hum run is a bigger play. Just needed one more component. Hit that extra block a little longer. Find the lane quicker. The defender maybe a half step late. And this could have been much, much more exciting.
They'll throw. 3rd and long. Pressure's there, and the Bucs got him. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down.
I know quarterbacks get paid a lot of money, a lot of glamour in this league, but today, well, this is a tough day for this QB. He's taking a beating. And whether it means changing up some of the blocking schemes, maybe mixing in a little bit of run, or heck, this quarterback getting the ball out of his hand more quickly, he's got to start protecting himself.
Another punt coming up. Bryce Behringer to do the honors again. And this is the 2nd time he's been brought on to kick it. Tampa Bay are ready to head out to the field. They have played lights out on offense. Scored their first 2 times out, Bronk. A chance to go 3 for 3 and grow that lead here. Bucks to the line. 1st and 10. Give to Irving to start this drive. Keeps away from one. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
It's a gain of 14 yards. That's good for a first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Off the play fake. Here's Mayfield. Cut out left. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. And that is the end of our first quarter. The Buccaneers leading so far. More from Raymond James Stadium coming up after the break. Back for the start of quarter number 2. It's Buccaneers football as we begin. They'll be set up 2nd and 7. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Finds him over the middle. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that's good enough for a Tampa first down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Take the hands off. Now it's Mayfield. This one's caught. And he's going to have this one down to the 20. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
That's just awesome, Kate. A little bit of multitasking on that catch. Primary focus, as I always say, is you got to catch it first. But out of the corner of his eye, he knew exactly where to go, and he gets a bunch of yak on top of it.
So a new set of downs. Here we go. 1st and 10. Throwing again. It's Mayfield. Completed over the middle. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
I feel so bad. I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
Mayfield to throw again. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Bronk, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know that it's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
And he hauls it in for the Tampa touchdown. The Buccaneers making a 3-possession game. Wow, just perfect execution there, Brock. Nailing the fade for 6.
Yeah, when it comes to the fade route, it really is all about timing. And as you said, the execution of it. You have to have the matchup first, but then you need to go connect. What a great play.
McLaughlin attack on the extra point. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Buccaneers push their lead to 18.
Buccaneers 21, Patriots 3.
Gxlden has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. On the return, here's Travion Henderson. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. The New England offense running out now. And they take the field feeling pretty beaten down with how this one's gone. Even if they're keeping their heads high, Brock, not a whole lot they've been able to do so far.
Yeah, in these moments, I think of golfers, right in a tournament. They don't want to look at the scoreboard. They don't want to see how much they're down. They just want to take it shot by shot by shot. It's exactly what this offense has got to do.
Patriots lining up. It's 1st and 10. May now from the gun. Ramondre Stevenson makes the catch. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Offense still line. This is 2nd and 4. Here's made to the air. Complete out to the right. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. Pick up a 5 on that play. And the Patriots will have a 1st down.
Move the chains! Got to move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
They're set up at the 35 now. 1st down throw for May. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Mario Douglas, the intended target. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
As a defense, you got to see the pass. You got to time up your hit, and you got to jar that ball loose. Not a lot of offensive players are hanging on to that one through a well-placed hit.
This is Henderson on 2nd down. And he couldn't quite break it. Still a 5-yard gain, though. 3rd down.
That result right there is why coaches all across all levels of football on defense talk about good, solid tackling, Kate. It's not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when you can bring a guy down, you're able to and keep them from piling on those yards.
He had a throw on 3rd. Brought in a big gain here for Diggs. And he's down to almost, nope, they're actually going to give him the 30 here. It's a 30-yard gain, Brock, so unsurprisingly, that gives him a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Pick it up, you're embarrassing us.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were, and the QB just nailed it.
Off the play action, May. He'll find Stevenson out of the backfield. And this one's only going to pick up a couple before he heads out of bounds.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd down now, they need 7. A give up the middle to Stevenson. This is ahead for about 5. Called down by Christian Gxlden.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
May now, 3rd and 2. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable and an incomplete.
Well, they're in a pretty big hole already, Brock. They're going to pass on the field goal and keep chasing that touchdown. They'll try it now with Stevenson. And the defense escapes. And a nice drive going, but the defense gets off the field by forcing that turnover on downs.
These 4th down runs, it's all about want to and will. Want to keep it conservative offensively, try to move it across, but that defense was having none of it. And now they get themselves off the field.
The Buccaneers and Bucky Irving ready for their next possession. And eventually, Brock, one of their drives is going to fail to reach that end zone. But through 3 possessions so far, they have been perfect.
Yeah, and in order for that to happen, somebody somewhere on this defense has got to rise to the occasion.
Tampa Bay bringing the offense to the line. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Irving. And he stopped quickly here. 2 yards on the play. We've got 2nd and 8.
That's the kind of yardage that's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now 2nd down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. Mayfield now from the gun. Hits him on the in route. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
Hey, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
On 3rd and 2, here's Mayfield. He has the first over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. Give him 8 yards on the play. And that's good for a Buccaneer 1st down.
38-yard line.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason this is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Mayfield now off the play action. Out left and Otten makes the ground. And he'll get it up to the 44.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Once more, it's Mayfield. Rolling into enemy territory. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
Complete to Gxlden. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
I know the combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Here's the give to Irving. And into a sea of bodies he goes. Looks like they'll get about 3 out of it.
Well, I'll steal a line from one of my buddies, but I'm going to quote him. Mark Schlereth, 2-time Super Bowl winner, says if you want to run the ball, you got to keep running the ball. And that's a perfect example of it. Don't get tired. Don't get mad at gaining 4 yards. It's a run that can set up even more in the run game.
This is Irving on 2nd. He'll scrape together a few yards, but not much. 3rd down coming up. We get a stoppage here. One of their big blockers up front. In some pain following that play. He's being attended to. Eighth play of the drive now. They need 2 to keep it going. They motion the tight end over. Here he is on 3rd and short. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open, it beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
On 4th down, the Buccaneers trying to put 3 on the board with Chase McLaughlin. It'll be 51 yards from the left hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that stretches the lead to 21.
The wind was at a sails, Kate, and it certainly helped that football fly true and right down the middle. And from that distance, to hit with that accuracy is one impressive shot.
Gxlden has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Return coming from the 6. And in the end, Brock, a pretty exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. The Patriot offense making their return to the field. They passed on the field goal, didn't get it on 4th down. Interested to see what they do if a similar situation arises on this next possession. First and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, here's May. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete.
See the pass, time up your hit, and jar that ball loose. Not a lot of players are hanging on through a well-placed hit like that one.
Following the incomplete pass, second and 10 now from the 30. Now a give to Stevenson, coming right. And whatever they were trying to do there is not going to work. Defenders all over it, so they take him down for a loss. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
The Buccaneers go to the nickel, 3rd down. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Looking to his fullback now. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. And the fair catch secured here at the 16. The Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield ready for this next possession. And he sure has put on that chef's hat to dice up their defense early in this one. Quite the appetizer that he's prepared to what could be a great overall performance. Bucks to the line. 1st and 10. On the give, this is Irving. We'll bring him down, but not before he picks up 7, Brock, to begin this drive.
That is just a great drive starter. What every offense wants. Gives you a little bit of energy, a little juice, and now a really manageable 2nd down.
Nice run last play. Sets up 2nd and 2. Once again, Irving. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35. He manages a gain of 8 there. And that's good enough for a Tampa 1st down.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Going to the ground again on 1st. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. Milton Williams making the stop.
It'll be this group's job, watching the film, to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically, and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains of next week.
They send a receiver in motion right. From the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to go with it, so he's just going to throw this one away.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Gxlden there defensively.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. 3rd and long for him here. And he let his man too much there, Brock. Incomplete, 4th down coming up.
We see this all the time. The number one thing you see NFL defenses do to try to force that 4th down, gets down coverage. Put your cover guys on the field. Let the boys up front cut it loose with pressure, and let the cover guys go shut it down.
Bucs getting set up to punt now on 4th down. On comes Riley Dixon. Marcus Jones back to return for the Patriots. Fair catch the signal, and he brings it in at the 23. The Patriots offense all set to go. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. New England bringing the offense to the line. 1st and 10. They go play action. Here's May. Complete over the middle. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it stops.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 33-yard line.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. This is Stevenson heading right. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Give him 3 on that gain. And that's a New England 1st down.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
1st down, ball at the 36. From the gun, it's May. Hits him on the out route. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
I'm not going to lie. I know they got a completion, and completions, you never turn them down. But to make that throw for those yards in the double coverage, that is way too much risk for that reward.
2nd and 3 now. Throwing is May. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Buccaneers get the football on the 1st turnover of the contest. Well, Brock, they could have gone run to set up 3rd and short, or they could air it out and try for more. They picked the latter, and the coverage was ready for it.
Sure was, Kate, and this is why playing this position, you've got to have a short memory. You must flush it. I love the decision to be aggressive. I always fall on that side of the coin, but when you throw a pick in that situation, such a manageable 2nd down, well, you got to learn from it, move on, and certainly flush it away.
Good starting field position for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10. Mayfield thrown out of the pistol. Completes this one to Otten. And he's going to be driven out, but a nice pickup. Gained about 8. 2nd down.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Offense is set. This is 2nd and 2. Baker now from the gun. He keeps it and takes off. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
7-yard gain. And a 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the 1st down.
All set now. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Catch made. And on 1st down, only gets about a yard here. And the defender there to force him out.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Here's Baker to throw. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tez Johnson, his intended receiver. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long.
8 yards to go.
Well, Brock, this substantial deficit sure hasn't honed the edge that this defense is playing with, huh? If anything, feels like they might be getting more aggressive, looking to make some sort of impact play.
And that's because turnovers are really the name of the game for this defense at this point, Kate. That aggressiveness still super welcome, no question. But they know it's see completions. It's taking the ball away that's next.
And they make the stop. We're going to say at about the 37-yard line.
A gain of 10
Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's good for a Buccaneer first down.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that first down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
Setting up the screen here to Gxlden. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop.
That's really good instinct by the eyes up in the sky. The play caller seeing space on the perimeter, a well-timed screen, and a positive gain out of it.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. Give it to Irving on the option. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. They pick up a yard. Still need one more, though. Third down coming up.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
We're at the 2-minute warning now from Raymond James. And it's the Buccaneers with only a yard to go here on 3rd down. Offense headed to the line. Just need to punch it forward a yard to reset the downs. Mayfield looking to throw on this 3rd and 1. That one's good to Godwin. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's another Buccaneers first down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
On first down, they're going to run with Irving. And he's only able to get back to the line. It's going to be 2nd down.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
The 20-yard line.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. Here's Baker. Has him on the quick hitter. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. Timeout taken by the Buccaneers. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Throwing now on 3rd and 2. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Timeout taken by the Patriots. They're 1st to 3. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
It's 4th down.
On 4th down, the Buccaneers trying to put 3 on the board with Chase McLaughlin. This 32 yards out. It's on the right hash. The kick by McLaughlin is good. And the advantage now sits at 24.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. And no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Fielded by Henderson. And he's brought down just inside the 25. All right, so the Patriots headed out on offense again just before halftime. Not a whole lot of time left for him to put something together here before the break. They'll begin this drive with barely over 25 seconds left. To the air on first down, May. He'll try and run this. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Now we're going to
You've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 100 times. Completions, completions, completions. Well, that wasn't a pass, it was a scramble, but it nets the same thing, keeping this offense on schedule.
2nd and 3 now. May now from the gun. Short pass brought in. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops. Now the Patriots calling their 3rd and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half.
At the 40-yard line.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. 1st down, May. Drop this to Henderson underneath. This one is stopped after about a 5-yard pickup. The tackle made it to 45.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and...
So a one-sided contest as we reach the break here. Let's head over to Scott Hansen for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Hewer.
Thank you, Scott. Great work there. We, on the other hand, didn't have a great first half. Here's hoping things get a little bit closer this time around as we get set for quarter number 3. Now Gxlden on to send it away.
To kick off for New England.
Tucker now on the return. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. Tampa Bay sending its offense out to begin the 3rd quarter. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for them. Has them with the advantage as we move through this 3rd quarter. Tampa Bay bringing the offense to the line. It's 1st and 10. They're going to start the half with a give to Irving. And this play reaches the 35 before it comes to an end. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
14 yards. And a 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know it can set the table for more.
1st down, and they go right back to it. And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage, B, it sets up your play action, and C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
This is 2nd and 6 coming up. Mayfield now from the gun. And back-to-back passes that should have been intercepted. 2 great chances to take it away. Both of them dropped, Brock, and now they stay out there for 3rd down.
Gosh, you could just almost feel his eyes up here, Kate, getting huge, right? He was envisioning the return, and he simply dropped it. Got to secure that pick before you think of anything else.
3rd down, here's Mayfield. That's complete downfield to Gxlden. And he's taken down, but he's got it to the 29. That one nabs him 33 yards and a new set of downs, too.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
And they're going to be working from the red zone as he reaches the 16. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
What a great sign to start the second half for this offense, because with a lead, well, the ground game becomes your best friend, the centerpiece for this offense, trying to chew up that clock.
Coming to the line, this is 1st and 10. Motioning the tight end now. Baker now off the play fake. That's complete. Shepard. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play.
Complete to Sterling Shepard. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Patriots' 8-yard line.
Offense is set. This is 2nd and 2. Mayfield to throw. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. Ooh, and he's not going to score, but they're just a yard away now as this sets up 1st and goal.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Goal at the 1-yard line.
Might be trying to power this across, Brock. They've got 3 tight ends out there. It's 1st and goal. Irving will not score, and it's not going to get back to the line either. I think he lost close to 3 on that play. Ooh, talk about a bad look there, Brock. Going jumbo set and still moving backwards after that play.
I don't think you're talking to this defense, Kate, because I think they thought that was an excellent look to knock that thing backwards.
Yeah, good point, good point. He finds it right side. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
Complete to Gxlden. A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and goal.
Offense is getting closer, but 2 yards left to figure out. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Mayfield. And it's incomplete on 3rd and goal. Thought he had a touchdown there. And that forces them to 4th and goal.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
Just 2 yards away, so the offense going for it. It's 4th and goal. Running for it, here's Irving. And he's in for the touchdown. The Buccaneers grow the lead coming out of halftime. Well, they took a gamble, and it paid off with a touchdown on 4th and goal.
And to do it on the ground at that's a confidence builder. Confidence builder for the big guys up front. Confidence builder for the running back to win at the line of scrimmage. And frankly, Kate, a confidence builder for this fan base that loves coaches being aggressive and going for it on 4th down.
McLaughlin attack on the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Buccaneers continue piling on to this lead.
34, Patriots 3.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Fielded by Henderson. He dodged the tackle. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Patriots running their offense out there. And this has become must-score territory now every time out as they trail by a full 4 possessions in this second half. Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. Quick throw, right side, complete to start this drive. And this one does not go far.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Second down now, 7 to go. Operating from the gun, here's May. He'll get this to Henry. And he's going to go out with a pickup of 3, so chipping away a few here ahead of this third down.
There's no question, Kate, that the big plays down the seam or will make tight ends a fan favorite, but it's those type of catches right there. The short yardage, it gets good coverage, contested catches that really make tight ends a locker room favorite.
Off the play action, May. He's got the first down grab and still going. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Bringing the offense up to the line. 1st and 10. Again, it's May. Hits him on the out route. And he's got this one down to the enemy 35 before they force him out. They gain 14 on the play. And the Patriots will have a first down.
Kate, when you watch the combine, you'll watch guys try to make this throw. And without chemistry, it's so hard to execute. That was picture perfect. That's a QB and receiver on the same page because that route, that deep out to the field, that takes just a different level of connectedness.
And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
2nd and 3 now. Here's May again. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Trying to find Stephon Diggs. And now they'll face a 3rd and 3.
This defense, they had a plan. And they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
May now to throw on 3rd. That's caught for the first. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. 16 yards on the play. And that's a New England first down.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
All right, they look set now. Here we go, 1st and 10. Going again, it's May. He'll find Stevenson out of the backfield. And he's going to be hit, sent out after about a gain of 1, maybe 2 yards there.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers that time, a running back in the flat.
To the air yet again, May. Running a screen for Stevenson. And it's another first down on this drive. Man, this time they're into 1st and goal.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident the screen would get them enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
Breaking the huddle. Here's 1st and goal. Stevenson can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3. And we're going to have to pause here. An injured Buck still out there and being looked at now. Went in the wrong direction the last play. Need to get forward 3 yards here on 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's May. The back grabs it. Touchdown, New England. The Patriots start the second half with some needed points. Ramondre Stevenson, the touchdown. Well, Brock, this one has not been good to them so far, but they are still fighting and able to get in there for 6.
Just a drive that was all about scratching and clawing. As much as anything, Kate, it was just a pride drive to go and get your job done.
Well, Gallus tacks on the extra point. And the Patriots get it back to a full 3 possessions now, 24 points. Now Borregales on to send it away.
For New England.
Tucker now on the return. This makes it up to the 25. The Buccaneers and Bucky Irving ready for their next possession. And after some momentum was wrestled away by that last touchdown drive, Brock, the pressure is on them to respond here. Bucks to the line. 1st and 10. They put a receiver in motion right. Drive begins with a run by Irving. Escapes a defender. There he goes on the right side. Into the red zone. That's a Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers can cruise to a win, growing that lead further.
That explosive run, this guy's right up on the edge of 200 yards, Kate. And with his body of work, it could only take one more carry to cross that mark and suddenly become a very intriguing subplot for the rest of this game. Can he get to 200 plus? We'll get to watch.
McLaughlin attack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Buccaneers grow their lead yet again.
41. Patriots 10.
McLaughlin has it on the team, and he's ready to send this flying. Starting from the 5. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. Here's New England ready once again on offense. In that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. Patriots lining up. It's 1st and 10. Drive starts with a carry by Stevenson. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets him 3.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on 2nd down after that drive starts with a very minimal gain.
At the 27-yard line.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. Henderson here from the gun. Jukes away from one. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
Danger, Kate. Danger, I say. You get this guy in the open field, and he is dangerous to take it to the house.
1st down, New England.
On the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Throwing is May. Dumped off to his running back. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well. It sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the gun, a gift to Stevenson. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. That play made by Jacob Parrish.
To the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 3.
To the line, here's 3rd and 3. To throw, here's May. Complete beyond the marker. And they get there to take him down right around the 41.
It's a gain of 8.
Give him 8 yards on the play. And the Patriots will have a 1st down.
1st and 10.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. A tight end that moves the chains on third down, that's a QB's best friend.
1st and 10 from the 41. Now a shotgun handoff to Stevenson. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
He was brought down.
As that linebacker makes that tackle right in the middle of the field, all I'm thinking about right now, Kate, training camp. Because that's the middle drill right there. That is textbook. What you do in training camp, coming to life when it matters.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. May now from the gun. He finds Diggs right side. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Slot man motioned over. May on 1st and 10. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. And that'll bring up 2nd down. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys.
And he's into the end zone for a New England touchdown. The Patriots take a small chunk off that lead. Well, no doubt about it, Brock. That was a route they worked on in practice, and it manifested in a touchdown when the downs counted here.
And no doubt about it, Kate, you grew up watching and celebrating Jerry Rice running that exact route, didn't you?
Yes, sir. You know it. You know it.
He was so good at it. Every receiver could do it some of the time, but Jerry and the best of them, they do it all the time, just like that one right there.
One after is good by Gxlden. And the Patriots get it back to a full 3 possessions now, 24 points.
17.
Now Gxlden on to send it away.
Kickoff for New England.
Tucker now on the return. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. The Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield ready for this next possession. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. Tampa Bay bringing the offense to the line. It's 1st and 10. Give to Irving to start this drive. And he'll take this ahead for 7. We've got 2nd and 3 now.
Well, that run may not move the chains, Kate. That is such a confidence builder. Sets the tone for more play action, maybe more runs. That's exactly how you want to start a drive.
Last run got him 7. Here comes 2nd and 3. Right back to Irving now. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops. They get 6 and a first down as well.
Gain of 6. That's good for a first down. 1st and 10.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a third down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next third down coming.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Pass him on the quick hitter. And he's able to move past the 45 before going out.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
Offensive line, this is 2nd and 4. possession. Here's Mayfield. Connects on the crosser. Well, he doesn't get the chance to add on to that play, but this still has him across the midfield stripe all the way down to the opposing 42. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
This one's caught. And they bring him down around the 34.
Small pass, big result. This dude is just a juggernaut with the football, and once he gets rolling, it gets tougher and tougher and tougher to stop him from playing add-on with those yards.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. They'll motion him out of the backfield. Baker throwing again. Connection made to Shepard. He's inside the 10. And they're going to take this to the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers trying to end this before the final quarter. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period. End of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
McLaughlin to tack on the extra point. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Buccaneers tack on 7 more to their lead.
Patriots 17.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Here's a return from the 7. He's stopped on the run back at the 27. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And we've seen some matching touchdowns as of late, so the scoring coming at a good clip, Brock. Let's see if they can keep this up.
You know what's fun, Kate? After all of these years, I have friends that are offensive guys, friends that are defensive guys. And my friends watching this one offensively love it. The defensive guys, they're climbing up their walls.
New England bringing the offense to the line. 1st and 10. They'll work against the blitz. And he's going to be driven out, but a nice pickup. Gained about 8. 2nd down.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and then netted some positive yards.
On 2nd down, it's Stevenson. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. That goes as a 4-yard pickup, and it gets him a 1st down.
That's a play that won't pop on the stat sheet, but the players and coaches won't forget about it. I promise you that. Coaches will file that one away the next time they really need to pick up a few yards.
1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Stevenson with another carry. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's made in the air. Throwing the out route complete. And he's down inside the 40 before he's escorted out. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And that's a New England 1st down.
It's a gain of 20.
Kate, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns. He puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
The give inside to Stevenson. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. May now. Setting up the screen with Henderson. Jukes his way into space. And he's out of bounds just short of the 30.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler. Gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, kid, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Thankfully, only 1 quarter to play now. We've reached the end of 3 in this lopsided affair. The Patriots have it. 1 quarter to play in what's been a rough outing for them. Seventh play of the drive. Offense facing 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. Here's May. Finds him over the middle. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27. It's a gain of 4 there. And the Patriots will have a first down.
There's no question. The greatest concern there was just getting the first down. You want a high percentage throw, and you're not really concerned about big yards. Well, the drag route was perfect. He comes open in the short field. It's easy to zip that throw right in there and reset those chains.
They send a man in motion. To the air on first down. May. Dumps it off to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line.
Some certainly do it better than others, Kate, but every running back in the league today has got to do just that. You cannot be a one-dimensional back in the league anymore. You can't. You got to be able to handle your business, both toting the ball as a runner, and really importantly as a check-down outlet on short throws.
Quick throw completed by May. He's within striking distance. And he's finally taken down at the 3. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
So many cool fundamentals on display right there, Kate. Look the ball in your hands, number 1. Don't turn your eyes away from it before it gets to you. And then when you've got that catch secured, snap that head forward and find that space upfield to turn a good play into a great play.
And he's into the end zone for a New England touchdown. The Patriots putting up points in a game decided. No hesitation on that throw. He got the guy he wanted right away, and he got it to him for the touchdown.
You know, it's great, Kate, to draw up plays that have all sorts of different options, but it's even better when you don't have to get to your second read. His first broke open just like they planned, and that's 6 in the end.
Gxlden on for the extra point. Right down the middle. It's good. And the Patriots get it back to a full 3 possessions now, 24 points.
24.
Now Gxlden to send it away. Tucker now on the return. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Buccaneers and Bucky Irving ready for their next possession. And as some running lanes have closed, he's just found some new ones. Continuing to hit this defense. More good numbers well into this second half. Bucks to the line. 1st and 10. Mayfield now from the gun. Completed over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
Just a yard left to go on second down. Setting up the screen here to Gxlden. And his short game gets them a new set of downs.
And those are the completions they rely on in their passing game.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
First and 10 from the 41. On the give, this is Irving. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down.
The thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
Second and 9.
Last run only gained a yard. That means it's second and 9. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Has it in close. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
That's good for a first down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
As a quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
Short side option here. He's running left. And they bring him down, but not before he advances it all the way to the 20. They manage 22 on the rip and a first down.
And just in case this offense didn't have enough to contend with, now you got to worry about a quarterback that could do what he just did, tote the ball himself for a big run.
Coming to the line for another first and 10. Here's the give to Irving. And a nice little run there gets him 5. Second down upcoming.
Fans love the long ball in baseball. It's like they got the home run derby, but you know what? Talk to managers and they will tell you small ball can win too. Singles and doubles, you add them up, you can win a lot of baseball games. Football coaches will tell you, you get runs of that length, it may not be a home run, it may not score points, but it can do some serious damage.
This is Irving on second. And they're going to have first and goal after he picked up a nice chunk there.
A gain of 10 yards. That's another Buccaneers first down. First
Play
and goal
running back
at the
in this
4-yard
league,
line.
well, you've got to have tremendous vision. We saw it twice, once to find the lane upfield, and then to get to space and break off some extra yards.
Changing things up. They're going to throw now. Blitz is there, and he goes down. And it's step one towards a goal line stand. Still going to need a couple more, though. Second and goal coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't. They call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
Needing 10 yards now as they line up at second and goal. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And they're turned away again. Two great defensive stands. We've arrived at third and goal.
A loss of 2
You see
on the
that
play.
sweep blown up before it gets to the outside. You know defensively, tremendous anticipation. But even more, better execution.
Defense bringing in a fifth DB, third and goal. Here he goes, third and long. Hits his running back. And this one stopped at the 3-yard line.
Awareness. Kate, you hear me and so many others talk about it a lot with quarterbacks, but it's critical for every unit on a football field. And for the defense right there, to have an awareness of knowing where the marker was and to make sure that completion wasn't going to move the chains.
The kick by McLaughlin is good. And that grows the lead to 27.
Get another shot across the bow of a ship that's already sinking here, Kate. He could have made that field goal. Heck, he could have turned around and kicked it directly at his coach because it feels like they've got this one in hand.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Has this at the 6. And he's brought down just inside the 25. The Patriots and quarterback Drake May are ready to go once more on offense. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. First call here coming from the shotgun. Starting on the ground here with Stevenson. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
You know, Kate, that might be a little bit of a disappointing run to him. He wanted more. They always do. That's exactly what they were after offensively to get this drive moving. They'll
come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. Quickly on the RPO. Now he's past the 25. And he's into the end zone for a New England touchdown. The Patriots making the scoreboard look a touch better. A second touchdown through the air for him, Brock, and independent of the game situation, we both know he's going to be happy to leave the field with 2 of them in one game.
1 touchdown, you just might be right time, right place, but 2 touchdowns in a game is always about the preparation. The separations and the preparation. It's doing that work on the practice field and knowing before the game that when my number's called, I'm going to be there to deliver.
Gxlden tacks on the extra point. And the Patriots still have a lot of work to do, Brock. It's a 20-point difference now.
Patriots 31.
Now Gxlden on to send it away.
To kick off for New England.
Tucker now on the return. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Buccaneers and Bucky Irving ready for their next possession. And those legs must be tired, but he ain't stopping, Brock. Not with the type of game that he's been having for himself on the ground. All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Dumped off to his running back. This drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Baker now from the gun. That's complete downfield to Gxlden. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop him. Wow, they get a big old 32 yards out of that play, as well as a new set of downs.
50-yard line.
He just made a difficult throw to the outside look elementary, Kate, and that's not easy. The placement, excellent. And it helped set his target up to put some more yards on that stat sheet.
Irving on the counter. Well, even a great game is going to have its lesser moments. He can't get anything out of that carry. Stop for no gain. That's a nice quick correction for this front, Brock. Give up the big play and then get a little back on the very next one.
Exactly the kind of response you want to see from your defense. You got to forget about the big play for now and stay focused on that next snap.
All right, here we go. Second down. Here's Baker to throw. That's Gxlden with yet another one. And they make the tackle at the 38. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's good enough for a Tampa first down.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
A toss running right. It's Irving. That one only good for a couple. It's second down.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss. It's the pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. Irving on the inside give. He has it to the 23-yard line as he's brought down. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield and a back who can show off his wheels.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. One of the tight ends motioning left. Going to the ground again on first. And they are going to be in great shape here. He gets this down to 6. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
That's another Buccaneers first down. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Offense there, Kate, went heavy with that 13 personnel. 1 back, 3 tight ends, and those 3 added blockers. Just the element they needed to spring that run.
Right on 1st and goal. So some defensive initiative in that goal to go, Brock. They take him down behind the line. 2nd and goal coming up. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1 is?
Stop the run.
And they've been doing it.
Baker now off the play fake. Completed to his running back. And that's a Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers keep adding to that 4th quarter lead. Well, as they drive forward to one right now, looks like it should be a win, Brock. He sure is taking advantage of a nice little chance to boost his stat line. His 2nd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, you just kind of feel these two building some trust, right? Just more and more equity. Certainly paying dividends in this one, but more than likely for more games to come.
McLaughlin attack on the extra point. The point after splits the upright. And the Buccaneers continue adding on to that lead.
58, Patriots 31.
McLaughlin has it on the team, and he's ready to send this flying. Fielded by Henderson. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. The New England offense running out now. And scoring hasn't been the issue for him, Brock, but it has been impossible to hold pace with the offense on the other side of this football field.
And we know they can't get this all back in one play, but they better do it with a sense of urgency.
Patriots lining up. It's 1st and 10. Quick throw is caught. And they'll stop him here, but not before he gets out to the 47-yard line. They strike for 23 yards. And that's a New England first down.
Patriots.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Great start to this drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. A give left side to Stevenson. And they do get him down, but the damage is done. This gets down inside the 35-yard line. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And the Patriots will have a first down.
Those outside runs so critical for running back, quarterback, O-line to hit their targets. They got a target area to expose that defense and make the most of it, and that offense just put on display some teaching tape forward.
And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. We've hit the 2-minute warning here in Tampa. Patriots hoping to make it look a little better before time runs out. 2nd down now. They need 7. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. He dodged the tackle. And he's going to go out of bounds just short of that red zone. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the first.
That's the beauty of mixing up your play calling. Like a great boxer, you never throw the same punch. Throw some unique looks. And that jet sweep, highly effective at moving the chains.
To the line and set. Here we go, first down. Shotgun handoff to Henderson. And he's not going to be happy picking himself back up after this. They're sent backwards on first down.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Drive's been moving nicely, but they went the wrong way on that last snap. It's 2nd and 13. May now from the gun. Cut at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things, separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
And he's only going to get 2 or 3 yards on that one.
That sure looks like a terrific call after you dial it up, because the execution was awesome by everybody. You get that kind of run on 1st and goal, it sets the table for more success.
Still chances to get these final 4 yards. It's 2nd and goal. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line.
The tackle made at the 3-yard line. A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal. The offense hoping something can finally go right here. From the gun, it's May. And he has the New England touchdown. The Patriots putting up points in a game decided. Now, this one has been a long game, no doubt. But, hey, something positive to look back on there.
But they didn't quit, Kate, and I know that sounds a little cliche at this professional level, but it really is an important thing. This one will still hurt, but they showed some execution and fire.
One after is good by Gxlden. And the Patriots still have a lot of work to do, Brock. It's a 20-point difference now.
38.
Now Gxlden on to send it away.
For New England.
Return starts from the goal line. Escapes the defender. Tampa Bay bringing the offense to the line. It's 1st and 10. Run begins with a run by Irving. Well, a lot of effort there, partner, but no results. He fought through that one stop, but only managed to get back to the line of scrimmage.
At the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brings up.
Sound the cannons, baby. The Buccaneers win it here in Tampa. And it was a game for fans of high-scoring football, wasn't it? I know Brock was enjoying seeing both of these offenses work, and really not a lot to dislike from either group. Just one side working at a slightly better clip than the other. That was the difference in the win. This has been another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. With all our crew here and my broadcast partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. The Buccaneers winners. As with that, we sign off from Tampa.